Hey everyone. So it's Thursday, the 14th. I fly back to the States tomorrow afternoon, so I'm gonna head to the airport probably early in the morning. I just wanted to make another quick video on, without getting into too much detail, the electrical here if you purchase a home in Italy. If it's older, newer. Our home is older. I think it was probably built in 20s, 30s. But anyway, using stuff here. So Kim had purchased some adapters that I think they were on Amazon. So it's just your standard two prong, goes into the Italian outlets, and this has your 3-prong grounded for most of your laptops. If you do bring other appliances, you just got to pay attention to the voltage, because out here in Italy it's 220 to 230 volts. This also has a USB-C on it and 2 extra USBs. So we use these when we travel, if we're staying at a hotel, so we can charge our phone if I need to plug a laptop in, whatnot. A little bit later in this video, I'll show what some of the outlets look like here. One kind of adapter is this 3-prong, all right? The difference is with some of these older style 3-prong to newer is the diameter of the pins. So this 3-prong will plug into my kitchen, and I think there's a couple down the entryway that use the same setup. So like we bought an extension cord, it has the same 3-prong for this. Problem is using an appliance, like we bought a shop vac and another house vacuum. We got a toaster, we got a kettle. They are 2-prong like this here. The difference is these prongs are a lot bigger diameter than these. So in order to plug this in, so I got a power strip back there on the other side of the table, is you'll utilize, this will plug right into the power strip. But let's say I need to use the vacuum. So I'll plug this extension cord in. The vacuum will not plug into the other end. It's the same end as this kettle base. The prongs are definitely bigger diameter, so then we'll utilize this adapter here, and then of course the inside is larger, so we can plug in the vacuum or whatever accessory we're using, toaster, kettle. Going to some of the newer things, we went to the store. Problem is going to the store without taking a picture or dimensions of what you need. You may come home with, oh yeah, we'll get one of these adapters. Problem is with this 3-prong, it fits nothing in the house. Here's what we have for 3-prong in the house. 1, it's a wider spread, and 2, the diameter of these pins are larger. So we had bought, I think, 2 of these adapters. We bought a power strip. Well, the power strip is the same. It's gonna fit nothing in this house. So power strip, these 2 adapters are useless to us right now. But like I said, we did get a couple of these, so we use one of these in the TV room to keep the phones plugged in and charged, or we'll do it here in the kitchen. And it has a lot to do with the current and the amps going through it. There's a little lower current through like the 220 to 230 volt here in Italy or the EU versus in America and the States, where you've got higher amp, higher current. So I know the size of some of these pins is going to depend on that as well. But I'm not going to get into all the specifics of everything with current, amps, all that. This is more to just let you know what you may come across if you purchase a home in Italy and what kind of adapters you will need. So if there's anything at the house you purchase that has any adapters, take that adapter with you to the store so you can match up the diameter of the plug, so you're not buying anything that's too fat, like some of these for the appliances, and that this will fit in what you have, either 3-prong, or you could have an outlet that just has the 2-prong. This is more just to make sure you don't run into the same thing we did. And I know other people out there have bought homes have run into the same thing. You go out, try to get an adapter, next to you got a drawer full of things that you can't utilize in your house. I'm gonna take the phone around the house and show you what we've got going on in the house as far as outlets. All right, so here in the kitchen, this is what I keep the laptop plugged into, and we'll do a couple different USBs if I gotta charge one of the phones, especially if I'm doing videos. So this outlet here, I've got a 2-prong adapter, this is the one we bought on Amazon that's got the USBs and stuff. So that fits in here, obviously. It'll also take the smaller diameter 3-prong if I want to plug an appliance directly into that. Another thing we use, there's an adapter down there. It's got the furnace plugged into it. I got an extension cord plugged into it for the stove. And then I just got a little power brick laying up here in case we stick the toaster up here or the kettle for the water. And then obviously we put everything away. So the stove, I've got a cord. I still got to tuck it a little better, but there was no outlet behind the stove, and I had to put an end on the wire for the stove. So that's how I power up the stove. As far as having the igniters working, it's also got the light for in the oven. This is actually a convection oven as well. So that's for that. Over here in the TV room, next to the couch, there's just a 2-prong outlet. 2 prongs. So what we'll do with that is we'll plug in this adapter if we want to use a USB and plug one of the cell phones in while we're sitting here watching TV. What is this one? I believe this is a 2-prong. I'm not going to unplug it and reset the TV right now. But this adapter was here. So I've got the coffee pot plugged into this. And I've got a power strip coming off of this side. And that power strip down there, I have an extension cord going to the TV. The Wi-Fi router and also the fiber modem is plugged into that. And I got a heater plugged into it as well. One thing you have to watch when you're plugging multiple things in, especially the heaters will draw more amps and the wire will start to get warm, so you got to pay attention to that, and I'll show you an example of that upstairs in our bathroom. This small bedroom here has just a 2-prong outlet. So in order for me to use a vacuum on that, I got to make sure I got a 2-prong to 3-prong adapter. In our bedroom, so there's a 3-prong there, so the power strip has to be 3, so that plugs into there. And then the power strip, we just got one of the other adapters with a USB. The red USB is for the phone at night, just an extra USB-C, and then the other one goes to the heater if we utilize it in here. In the green bathroom, so there's no outlets in here, but there is one small one inside the vanity. It's a 3-prong. So I've got a little power strip plugged into here, just for the heater in the bathroom. We need to take a shower bath or anything. If it's colder out, this is the source of heat for in here, but like I said, it draws a lot of current, and this plug up here will start getting really warm. And why is that? Because it's the current it's drawing, and you can see the size wires they use in here. They're not very big wires, so they can't handle that much load on without getting hot. The other outlet inside the bathroom is here. I got the washer dryer going right now, so I'm not going to unplug it, but I believe that is a 2-prong, and then it's got a 3-prong 2 to 3 adapter for the washer dryer. All right, coming down into the entryway, so there's the front doors. So this outlet here is just a 2-prong only. So obviously I can't plug a 3 in. And then the newer style, it's thicker and wider, so that won't work there. And then this one down here is a 3-prong. So I can actually plug my adapter in there, then I can plug the vacuum into that. But to utilize this one, I needed 2 into 3, which I have back upstairs. So hopefully that helps you out with the electrical here in Italy if you end up purchasing a home. This home still has older electrical systems, so it's got smaller switches, the outlets aren't. I think this is the new style that most modern homes or modern electrical systems have. It's much wider and much larger diameter pins. So if you have any questions on what I went over, comment and I will try to answer them the best of my knowledge. This is just one example of what we came across. Something you purchased could be totally different. It could have a completely renovated electrical system, and it's pretty easy to tell with the 3, the 2, and the diameter of the pins. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Ciao.